Millions of dollars. Millions of dollars.
Make it move, make it move, make it $1 million move, make it move, make it move, make it $1 million move, make it move, make it move, make it $1 million move, make it move, make it move, make it $1 million. Now everybody move, move. Now everybody move, move. Now everybody move, move. Now everybody move, move.
Welcome back, everybody, to Stay Tuned. I'm one half of what makes this show so great. My name's Tim. I got a guy over there to my far left. You want to introduce yourself, sir?
Is that me?
Yeah, that's you.
Oh, I'm Tom. Hey, guys.
And then we got a special guest today. You can see him right there in the middle. He doesn't have a camera, but he does have a voice. Go ahead and introduce yourself, sir.
What up, everybody? This is Mr. Indy, Nathaniel Adams.
Yes, we got Nate, Mr. Indy, with us. He is a amateur indie circuit wrestler here in Indianapolis, Indiana.
Who you calling an amateur, boys?
Whatever you want to call yourself. But anyway, so oh, that's pop up. That was great. So anyways, last night was Elimination Chamber. I know we did a show yesterday on the Witcher, Destiny, and what was it, Splatoon. But something great happened last night. I had so much fun. This is probably my favorite WWE pay-per-view since WrestleMania, which isn't saying that's very much. But at least when I look back to, like, well, before that, it was probably Survivor Series, which was like November. So it's been like 6 months, and I feel like I've had only 2 good pay-per-views since Survivor Series. And this was one of them. And it was, what, Payback was like 2 weeks ago? Something like that?
Yeah, it was only 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, and I mean, Payback was good, but I mean, this was... I thought this was great. What do you guys think overall? Like, not any specific matches yet. We'll get to those in a minute, but just like the overall concept. Tom, what do you think?
I thought it was great. Like, the fact that they kind of announced this maybe a month or so ago, I kind of figured that it was going to be just some random mishmash of stuff that didn't really make sense, storyline-wise, or, you know, really even in the grand scheme of things, like it would just be a throwaway event. But but actually, it turned out to be really cool. It was a great pay-per-view.
Yep. What do you think there, Nathaniel Adams?
Honestly, man, it was one of the best pay-per-views I've seen in a while.
Yes.
I'm with Tom. Felt like they were just going to throw some stuff together. It wouldn't really make sense. But last night was a prime example of how the direction of everything is changing, and they showed it to you. It was great. I loved it.
Yeah. I mean, like, me and Tom were talking, you know, just quite a bit as we were, like, as the show was coming up, you know, like, we always make our predictions, like we did WrestleMania predictions, and I think, what was it, Tom? We were, like, 80% right on most of our predictions. Like, almost every single match we knew exactly what was going to happen.
Right.
Whereas this one, we were making predictions, and I think we pretty much got almost every single one of them wrong. But in a good way. Not necessarily like, it's like, oh, my goodness, I know exactly what's going to happen. You know, John Cena's going to, you know, get knocked out by Kevin Owens, then, you know, blah, 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 do this, and all of a sudden John Cena wins. Hooray, everybody, the world hunger is solved and all that great stuff that John Cena always does. But, you know, so let's start with the pre-show, which was Stardust versus Zack Ryder. Just a match. It was just a match. Like, Zack Ryder had a great show last Raw against John Cena during the Open Challenge, which John Cena's Open Challenges, I think, have been like the greatest thing on Raw in a long time.
It's been real good.
Yeah, every single match that he's had, like, you know, I think the last really good John Cena match that I can think of was CM Punk Money in the Bank. What was that, 2011 or 2000?
2011, yep.
Yeah, that was the last time that I was really blown away. Like, oh yeah, CM Punk's getting out, he's gonna retire, and then John Cena's gonna hold the title, and then it was like, oh my God, CM Punk just won. But enough about CM Punk. He doesn't wrestle anymore. Right. But the U.S. Open Challenge has been great. And then what was it? 2 weeks ago, was it right after Payback or was it the week before? Yeah, it was right after Payback. I think me and you were talking about it, Tom, after we watched Payback. We were like, yeah, watch, Rusev's going to come out and accept the Open Challenge and lose again to John Cena after the I Quit match.
Something like that.
But then somebody else came out. And it was pretty great. So before I get to you, Tom, Nate, who was that person that came out and didn't really accept the Open Challenge, but did something else?
Killed the Open Challenge.
He is the future of the WWE, Mr. Kevin Owens, the NXT champion.
I thought you were talking about Seth Rollins.
No. Sorry about you.
No, but I know you have a huge history with Kevin Owens, and I know you're a huge fan, so feel free to fanboy for a few minutes.
I wouldn't say a huge history. I've hobnobbed with Kevin a time or two. I know a couple of his close friends, and we spoke. a ton. He's a great guy, great wrestler. I'm very impressed by his skill. A lot of people compare him to Mick Foley. I think the comparison is there, but I think that Kevin Owens is his own man. Kevin Steen, for those of you who are fans of his earlier work. But all around, I'll tell you what, even as good as a wrestler, even as good as a quote-unquote sports entertainer as he is, he's an even better person. And that's what impresses me the most about Kevin is his ability, and he knows he has that ability, but also his ability to stay humble. I think he's a great guy.
Yep. And the great thing about that whole lead up to this is, there's been people that have been accepting the challenge, like, Adrian Neville, Dean Ambrose, Stardust, Sami Zayn, which was one of my favorites so far. I love Sami Zayn. Yeah. But it's just like John Cena's been putting these people over. Like, you can hate John Cena as much as you want. That's okay. I don't hate or love him either way. I think he's a great person outside the ring, and he's not the best in-ring performer, but if he has somebody that's really good with him, he looks really good too. Like, we'll get to his match in a little bit, but yes. So Stardust versus Zack Ryder. Stardust defeated Zack Ryder. It was 6-minute match. Nothing too great.
Yikes.
Nothing. He got a broski kick in and pinned Stardust, didn't win, and then I can't remember exactly what happened. It wasn't that great.
Yeah.
Tom, I think you missed that one. You weren't even.
Yeah, I was in the car.
Yeah,
I was in the car.
That one was probably a throw together match.
Yeah, it was just. They always have a pre-show match, which is usually something relevant, but that one wasn't. But then the next one, this kind of surprised me. This was the first match. Was the tag team elimination chamber match, the first one ever of its kind. You had the New Day, which actually had 3 wrestlers: Big E, Xavier, and Kofi. The stable. Why they all 3 were wrestling, I don't know. We can talk about that in a minute. You had the Lucha Dragons, which is Kalisto and Sin Cara, Tyson Kidd and Cesaro, Tom's favorites.
Yes. They're awesome.
The Ascension, Connor and Victor. Los Matadores, Diego and Fernando, and the Primetime Players, which was Darren Young and Titus O'Neil. So what was it? Who started this? Tyson Kidd and Cesaro and the Ascension, wasn't it? That started this match?
It was Kalisto. Yes. I think it was Kalisto and Sin Cara, right?
Was it? It might have been.
Oh,
I think those two.
Kalisto and Sin Cara started because Kalisto got caught up on top of the chamber.
Yep.
Yeah, that was just so weird. That this whole match was a really cool concept, but I like the idea of like the tornado tag. They don't really ever have a tornado tag match, but it was pretty good concept as to what was actually going on. Sorry, my son's over here. He's not very happy right now.
He is loving it.
No, he's not. He is not.
He hates the New Day.
He hates the New Day like everybody else does. But so
I like the New Day.
It was the Lucha Dragons and the Ascension. Nothing too crazy happened. Then I believe it was Tyson Kidd and Cesaro got released next, and then it was the Lucha. No, wait, it was
Los Matadores.
Los Matadores. Sorry, I get these 2 teams mixed up.
Ole.
Yeah. And this was when we saw our first elimination, and I believe it was the Los Matadores, wasn't it?
Yes. Because they are the worst.
Yes. Then eventually the New Day and Primetime Players got released. But what was your highlight of this match, Tom? What did you really enjoy about it, I guess?
So, I wasn't the biggest fan of this match. Even though the spot didn't end up working out all that well, I did like seeing Kalisto just climbing the top of the cage. Like, I thought that was pretty cool, even though the landing looked kind of weird on that. Although, really, you're swinging from the top of the cage. It's not going to – there's no real easy way to practice that one. But even El Torito did it then, and his actually looked a little bit better because he kind of did a little bit of a 180 in the air. So I really like that, just, using the cage itself as kind of an object in the match.
Which is one thing that I think Kofi always does really well. Like, whenever it's like the Royal Rumble, Elimination Chamber, he always does that weird stuff. And he didn't actually do it this time. But
yeah, he didn't do anything, really.
So, Nate, if you had to – or Nathaniel Adams, Mr. Indy, if you had to your favorite part of this match, what was your highlight of it, I guess?
My favorite part of the match, to be honest with you, did not have anything to do with the actual in-ring aspect of the match. My favorite part was the beginning of the match when you saw, everybody coming in, and then you saw the New Day come in, and the New Day is really trying to get themselves over as heels and get heat by taunting all the people in the pods.
Right.
It was pretty cool to me to see these 3 guys getting that kind of heat, or at least trying to get that kind of heat, because people love playing around with these guys. They love playing along with the whole New Day sucks thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I wouldn't exactly call them full-blown heels yet, but they're really trying, and I loved watching that, and I'm loving watching their character development. So I enjoyed that more than I enjoyed the actual in-ring aspect of the match.
Yeah, I would agree. Like, I know that's like been like I think that started. It was like a couple months ago. Whenever Xavier Woods was like pounding on the mat from the outside, he was like doing that 1, 2, 3, 1,
Yes.
2, 3, and everybody's just like, "New Day sucks. New Day sucks." But no, like, so like we were talking as this match before this match even started. Whenever they all three came out, I was like, "Are you serious? Are they really gonna have all three of these people in this match, in this pod together?" And they did, and I was like, okay, well, I don't really feel like this is a tag team match anymore. I feel like this is like a stable versus stable match. Like, I mean, you had like the Los Matadores with like El Torito, but that doesn't really count. I mean, that starting move he did whenever they got released was pretty cool. Whenever he did like the Hurricanrana, or
Yes.
yeah, the Hurricanrana off of the top.
Cesaro.
That was great. Like, that was great. But I mean, other than that, like, you know, it was like 3 versus 2 versus 2 versus 2, and then, you know, we were talking about this as well, Tom. Like, they just tried to pin Tyson Kidd, and then like the Ascension knocked him off. Why did they do that?
Yeah, that was really weird. That didn't make any sense at all. Like, at first we were like, is this not a normal elimination chamber? Is it, you know, whoever gets first pin wins? That's weird.
First pin, and then like what? Somebody could still be stuck in the pod and they didn't have a chance. They just lose their titles. But
yeah, it was really strange. Like, it didn't make. That was one of the biggest disappointments of it. It was like, we saw that happen multiple times throughout both matches.
Yes.
It just didn't make any sense whatsoever.
yeah, maybe it's like instinct to knock him off, but it was like, I think you even said something on Twitter. Like, somebody asked JR, like, are they supposed to do that? And he's like, I have no response to this.
He's like, nope,
something.
it's illogical.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, the only logical thing I can think of is it was a heel helping a heel, or in the case of the other match, a face helping a face when Mark Henry had done it. But we'll get to that later, obviously.
Yeah. But I mean, this came down to New Day and the primetime players, and like, honestly, like, I was like, Tom, are we going to see the primetime players as the new tag team champions? Because like, people may not know this. People may not know this because I can't really express it that much. I am a huge Titus O'Neil fan. Titus O'Neil is awesome. He has the look. He has the moves. He looks great in the ring, you know, for the most part. And they don't push him. They just leave him on the back burner. He comes out and he jobs. He does like 15 seconds in the Royal Rumble every single year to a minute, and he gets eliminated by whoever's going for the most eliminations, or the person that's going to win it. But Titus O'Neil is great, and Darren Young he's a big dude too. So these two guys as the primetime players would have been a great push for them to go forward with. And then, you know, the New Day still has it, which is great, you know, for like storyline wise, building them up as a heel. They're a stable that takes on tag teams, and they cheat and they win. You know, kind of like the WWE champion right now. But it's working. It's working. I mean, I love Kofi Kingston, and I hate the New Day. Like, I think Nate, you know, can attest to how much I still do, and I did love Kofi Kingston back in, you know, 2009, 2010.
You yelling Kofi still echoes in my head.
Yes.
Come on, Kofi. Let's go, Kofi.
So I guess that can bring us to the next topic of Nikki Bella versus Paige versus Naomi.
Come on, Nikki. Let's go, Nikki.
I think this was a complete step back for the Divas as to where they've been, like, on the main roster, not talking about NXT, of course. On the main roster, I feel like this was a huge step back for the Divas, because this was a 6-minute fight for a triple threat.
Yep.
Really? This was like Paige's comeback fight, and, you know, Nikki has been the champ for like 6 months. Like, we both said, like, yeah, she's gonna drop the title to Paige tonight, and she didn't, which was it was cool that it was a surprise, but I felt like the match itself was boring. Like, nothing great compared to what we saw. Like, what was that, 2 weeks ago on Wednesday? That fight?
Yep.
Pretty damn good.
Well, that fight has
Yeah,
Sasha
well, what
Banks
day did
in
you
it, and
just
she's
say
the
that?
best. So,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, 2 weeks
What
ago.
day did you just say, though?
NXT Unstoppable.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah. So, what do you think, Tom? Do you think this was kept the Divas on the level playing field, moved forward? Do you want to see Nikki Bella as the champ for another 6 months? What do you want?
No, it was just a quick, boring fight. Like, again, it was a step backwards. I mean, I get that they had the 2 Elimination Chamber matches, which are going to take a while, and, you know, Kevin Owens versus Cena, and then the Heavyweight Championship match. But which all take a lot of time. But I felt like they could have given more time to this match instead of just making it another throwaway match. Because Paige is incredibly talented, Naomi's really talented as well, and Nikki's getting better. So it could have been a much better match than what they gave it credit for.
Yeah, I completely agree. Nate, what about you?
There was a Divas match last night?
Exactly. If you literally would have walked away from the screen, you wouldn't have realized it. Like, the biggest issue I have is that this was only a 6-minute fight, and it was a triple threat. When you look at, like, the triple threat from, Royal Rumble, Lesnar versus Cena versus Rollins, that was like a 30-plus minute fight, and it was amazing.
Excellent match.
Triple threats can be great. Like, what was it? Nikki Bella put Naomi and did the rack attack and then pinned her, and it was over. And I was like, I looked at Tom, I was like, that's it?
Yeah, we're just kind of like, oh, okay, I guess we're doing this.
I know it's kind of late.
Total Divas, woo.
Yeah, it's kind of late. They still had, like, the Intercontinental and the main event, but that was it. Yep. And I was like, yeah. Anyway, so hopefully
to be honest with you, from a business standpoint, you have to understand that they're trying to put Nikki over as the diva, and when Paige does get her one-on-one shot, it'll look better when Paige does finally get the belt back.
And then I would love to see, as Paige wins, see Charlotte come out. That would just be awesome.
That would be excellent.
That would be good. All right, so anyways.
Champion versus champion.
Yep. So speaking of champion versus champion, thanks for that segue. There was also a fight, which I think you guys have been waiting for a long time, and I thought was going to be a great fight. Kevin Owens versus John Cena. I thought this was going to be a typical John Cena match with, trying to get Kevin Owens over, and then, Kevin Owens doing his pop-up power bomb 2 or 3 times, John Cena kicking out, then Owens going for it again, John Cena landing an AA, and then winning the match. That did not happen.
Oh,
thank God.
It's incredible.
And I don't think I've ever seen a schoolgirl scream, but I'm pretty sure I did last night. I'm pretty sure I
got pretty excited.
So Nate, besides Kevin Owens winning, what was your highlight of these two? Was it like the build-up? Was it the actual fight? The future that I foresee these two having a nice rivalry, hopefully over the next couple months. What do you think?
Well, personally, I don't think there really was a build-up. This was one of those things that, 2 weeks before it happens, we're going to tell you it's going to happen. And it was kind of out of nowhere, but at the same time, that's what gave this match such a good feeling and such a big fight feeling, is because if you know Kevin the way that fans do in NXT, or if you've watched his work elsewhere, you know how good he is, and for them to shove him right into the face of the WWE is a big deal.
Yeah, it is.
So they didn't really need a build up. But in this match, these two put on. I'll tell you, I told a friend of mine last night, this was the 3rd best John Cena match I have ever seen in my life. Obviously, the first one would be Shawn and John in London on Monday Night Raw, where they went for 60 minutes, and then the Money in the Bank with CM Punk in 2011, and then this match last night. I was thoroughly impressed with not only his ability to give direction, but his ability to trust Kevin, and some of the moves that these guys did were amazing. That top rope suplex from Kevin, I have no clue where it came from, but impressed me all. I mean, I was sold.
Kevin Owens makes us big guys look awesome. I'm just saying.
Yeah, he does.
But no, I love seeing John Cena's leg drop. Like, it's not the best leg drop in the world, but it's pretty cool to see it. I was really hoping, though, I would have seen his really broken Hurricanrana again. I just think it's always awesome. I thought during that last pop-up powerbomb that's what it was going to happen, and it didn't. But I thought he'd do, the Hurricanrana to AA to pin to win. Me and Tom like to call it the springboard pin. As he does the AA, he does a springboard to fly over.
Dives and goes, woo.
Yeah, but no, it was great. Just the whole chemistry that they had last night was just awesome.
Yep.
The chemistry was off the charts.
I really wish I would have had my phone out, though, because I would have totally played a video for you guys of Tom just standing up, running around, screaming yes, with his hands in the air. It was great. So, Tom, what was your highlight, of course, besides Kevin Owens winning?
Besides him winning? I just thought that they really put on an awesome match, and they really let Kevin Owens kind of show what he can do. He didn't just do a bunch of real safe moves. When I thought he was going to do a package pile driver,
you were excited.
And it just kind of turned into a sidewalk slam. I was like, oh my God, are they going to use the package pile driver?
I marked out for that.
Yeah, because it looked like, it was Ring of Honor banned this move, and the WWE is going to let him do it, and then it kind of it didn't happen.
I said the same thing about that
lost my
suplex.
mind.
That suplex that he did, like, they even showed the recap. I think I looked at you and I was like, what was that?
Right.
Like, what was that just now? And it was great. It was perfect.
The fact that they just let those two just go at it and really let them, get all their moves in was really special. And then obviously when he actually did the second pop-up power bomb and it was 1, 2, 3, it was like at first I couldn't register it for a second, like a very split second, because then I got up and ran around. But it was like I couldn't register it. Like, oh my god, he actually won! Like I didn't think they were gonna have him win. So I was
I agree.
super happy with that match.
I agree. Like I would like to see. I don't know. Like we were talking about yesterday, I feel like the lines are slowly getting blurred about what is developmental territory and what is main roster at this point. Like, Kevin Owens being John Cena, like, I'm not saying that's bad for business. That's great for business. But seeing a developmental person beating, like, one of the biggest WWE superstars of, he is the biggest WWE superstar of the PG era, Hulk Hogan 2.0, like, it's great. And, like, I think you said you're talking about Kevin Owens' son, Owen Steen. Yep. Like, yeah, seeing his dad fight John Cena, he's the one that won last night. Not Kevin Owens, but Owen Steen won the fight last night because he got to see his dad knock out his favorite wrestler, John Cena.
Right.
But yeah, you also hear like the Owens, the crowd yelling, let's go Cena, then fight Owens fight. That was great. They went back to the original, let's go Cena. Cena sucks. Like whenever me and Tom go to Raw, that's what we do. I yell, let's go Cena. He yells, Cena sucks. Right. It's great because we're sitting next to each other. But no, this was probably like this match just came out of nowhere. I thought it was going to be good, but it was fantastic. That suplex thing that Kevin Owens did, I don't know what it was, but it looked fantastic. I want to see more people do stuff like that. The senton that he did, the package pile driver sidewalk slam thing, like he did 2 pop-up power bombs, and John Cena.
I think he got 3 in, didn't he?
Was it 3?
I think it was 3.
But just seeing those two go, like we know when somebody's going to kick out, but like there's always that tension, like are they going to kick out? Are they going to kick out? And you're just on the edge of your seat, and then they kick out, and you're like, oh, they kicked out, which is great. Yes. But no, this was definitely. I thought this was going to be the match of the night, but I feel like another match was better personally. But I have some biases for that match, so yeah. But anyways, so sorry, go ahead, Nate.
Here's the thing. They gave them enough time to where they could put all of their work together in a timely fashion. It wasn't rushed. It wasn't crammed together. They trusted Kevin. Obviously, they trusted John more to carry Kevin if he needed to, but they trusted Kevin enough to put him in this position and give him the time needed to show what he had to the WWE universe that had not seen NXT. But to you personally, Tim, there's only one person that got to see my reaction last night, rather hear it, because for some reason I was on a 30-second delay compared to them, but they called me right after Kevin won, and you need to give Dusty a call and ask him what my reaction was, because I will not be saying that on here.
No,
I got pretty emotional.
It was great though. Like honestly, like I really hate whenever they said like it's his first WWE fight. Like no, NXT is WWE, but yes, it was his first like main roster fight. It was his first time actually fighting in front of a large crowd. I don't think he's ever like NXT is always in Florida. It's never like like 80, 90,000 people. Well, yeah, they have, but it's not like I don't think it's gotten as big. It's
been like 5,000.
No,
yeah, but I mean, like when you think about like 80, I don't know how many there were there last night, but when you think about like
probably like 20,000.
Yeah, but that's still quite a few people. And then you think Kevin Owens is going to be at WrestleMania 32, and he's going to be fighting in front of me and Tom, and it's going to be awesome.
Yeah,
it's going to be great. It's going to be great. But no, I would like to see. I'm not sure what they're going to do. Like I kind of like seeing Owens as the NXT champ, but I want to see him make that full-blown move to the roster and actually be the first person to actually beat Cena and take the title from him, because I don't want to I would like to see Neville do it as well. I'd like to see a lot of people do it, but I feel like Owens would be great in that role, because I mean the trolling he was doing to Cena on NXT and on Raw was fantastic, which is why I was continuing it last night with a couple of friends on Facebook, because that's what Kevin Owens. Yeah, he's like, what was it? He came out on NXT Unstoppable with a John Cena T-shirt on.
Yep.
Yeah.
The champ is here.
Yes.
It was great. It was like I was like, really, Really?
Came out with the Sami Zayn music on the last NXT.
Yep. So it's
He's the best.
I cannot
He
wait
is
for
the best.
I cannot wait for Kevin Owens to make the full-blown move to the main roster, but I don't know if it's time yet because they don't really have any other talent in NXT too much right now. I mean, I know they got Samoa Joe,
Finn Balor.
Yeah, Finn Balor, Samoa Joe, Hideo will be back eventually, but you don't want to leave it to like 3 or 4 people while you're trying to get more people in. So, I mean, I know Sami Zayn's out, but anyways, I would like to see where this feud's going to go because I think Kevin Owens is booked for a lot of the next 2 pay-per-views and Raw up to like the end of July or August. So
Something like that.
Yeah.
It's going to be great.
Well, rumor has it that he actually just got a new contract.
Yep.
And they're going to be pushing him towards main roster permanently, which I don't know what happens to the NXT title at that point, but I see this as if he ends up being the one to beat Cena for the title, that's a heck of a way to bring Sami Zayn back in.
Yeah.
Yep.
And have them feud over the U.S. title.
That would be perfect.
Yes.
Perfect.
Yes, sir.
And then put John Cena back as the WWE champion.
In his grave.
In his grave. So then, speaking of NXT, we also had an NXT refeud last night of Neville versus Bo Dallas. And Neville,
Believe.
you love Bo Dallas.
I love Bo Dallas.
You love Bo Dallas.
He's great. He's the best.
I think he's stupid, but I think he's funny.
He's awesome.
No, but I love Neville. Like, yeah. I saw a couple NXT fights in Neville. I was like, this guy's pretty good. But then that fight, whenever he fought John Cena for the title, I was like, that's the point where I was like, I'm sold. I am a huge Neville fan at this point. You know, not Adrian Neville. Neville now. Yeah. But this fight wasn't very long. It was pretty quick. But, I mean, it pretty much was just showing that Neville's really good. And he's going to keep being really good, I guess.
Yep.
And
this was the most predictable fight of the entire night.
Yeah, I thought.
There's
honestly,
no way Bo Dallas was going to win.
Honestly, I think we were talking. I was like, you know,
believe enough, and he'll still lose.
Because the next fight that we're about to talk about, the Intercontinental fight, Rusev got hurt Thursday night whenever he got thrown out of the ring, which is part of what actually happens in wrestling. People actually do get hurt. This stuff's real. It's not fake, 100% of the time. Just the outcome's fake. But I thought they were going to put Neville in that spot.
Still real to me, damn it.
I know it is. But no, I thought they were going to put Neville in that fight, but they didn't. They put Mark Henry. So the Intercontinental fight was Mark Henry, Dolph Ziggler. This actually says King Barrett, Wade Barrett, or Barrett, Sheamus, R-Truth, and Ryback. This fight was a lot better than I expected. What do you think, Nate? What was your favorite part of seeing these 6 men go at it?
This, besides obviously Kevin Owens, John Cena, this was my favorite match on the card for many reasons. The spots were amazing. The sell jobs that Dolph Ziggler would do for everybody were amazing. But
I think Dolph Ziggler
could sell ice to he could sell ice to an Eskimo.
Dolph Ziggler's like stunned, like whatever he like acts like he's hurt, like trying to get up. It's so funny, but I love it because he just looks like he's like where am I? Just got knocked out like the 10th dimension. Sorry to interrupt you. Go ahead.
That looked like the lights are on, but nobody's home. He does better than anybody in wrestling.
He does.
But I mean, this match was filled with oh my god moments and filled with unpredictability because you really didn't know who was going to walk out with the IC title. I had a feeling. I was wrong about that feeling. I'll go ahead and say it. I thought Bad News Barrett would pick up the title once again for business reasons, but I was not upset with the outcome. That's all I'll say. I was not upset at all.
Yeah. I mean, I think me and Tom were sitting there the whole time like, this is
I was sure it was going to be Sheamus.
Yeah, we were like
100% sure.
I was like, it's going to be Sheamus, or there's going to be the possibility of Dolph Ziggler winning it again. Which would I want to be opposed to Dolph Ziggler having the title because he's kind of like
not at all.
He's kind of not done anything since what Survivor Series.
Yep, like, and that was because Roman Reigns
can't stay out of trouble.
Yeah, so like I think the reason that Ziggler kind of had like I'm not saying he had like a misstep here or anything like that. Like he did great, but since Rusev wasn't in the fight, like. And the whole like Lana Dolph Ziggler thing, I felt like Dolph Ziggler had like a missing part in the fight, and it's not his fault. I mean, like injuries happen, like we said, but like I understand why he's not the champ, but I still also wonder why he's not the champ at the same time. I don't know if you guys agree, disagree, or what. I guess
I think that Dolph is one of the best talents in professional wrestling today.
Definitely.
I just wish he could stay out of trouble. If he could stay out of trouble and keep his mouth shut, he'd probably be in the main event.
Yeah, it seems like every month or so, there's just something where he goes off on Twitter about, oh, you do all the right stuff, but then, you know, you get in trouble and now you can't be the champ or whatever. He always gets in. It always seems like he gets in trouble because like if he wins Money in the Bank next month, like in 2 weeks, I would be so happy, so happy.
Well, even when he's able to keep his mouth shut, somebody like Jack Swagger comes along and kills it for him.
Right, gives him a concussion.
Fucking
Jack Swagger should have been in the match last
Yeah.
night. I'm just glad that Big Show wasn't in there.
Yeah,
I was
Yeah.
convinced Big Show was going to be the next guy.
So, Mark Henry was the first person to come out, and I was like, damn, that's who we got? We got Mark Henry? That's
Damn.
Damn. No, like, it wasn't a bad thing. I was like, oh, cool, Mark Henry. Like, I didn't see that.
Gonna get their ass kicked.
I didn't see that coming. Okay.
Right.
But R-Truth, Sheamus, Barrett, Ziggler, and then Ryback. And Barrett was the first one eliminated. I feel so bad for Barrett. Like, he's the Intercontinental title, then like there's like that championship ladder match at WrestleMania, and before that he loses to like 12 people leading up to WrestleMania, then loses his title.
Right.
Then becomes King of the Ring, and then keeps losing afterwards. It's like, hey, we're going to give you this thing, but then you're just going to lose for like 4 months in a row, okay?
Yeah.
But then we'll give you the United States Champion, but then you're going to lose for 3 months in a row, then you're going to drop the title. Then we'll give you the Intercontinental Champion, then you're going to lose for 3 months in a row. Like, I love Barrett.
I don't think they know what to do with him.
I've loved Barrett since the Nexus. I thought Barrett was great. I thought that stable was amazing, and the whole like John Cena Nexus controlling his life or his professional life was great. And Barrett's just kind of like in and out doing random things now. Like I don't get it.
He gets hurt a lot too.
Yeah,
which is unfortunate.
Like somebody else,
because he's really good too. Shut up.
No, but
shut your mouth.
R-Truth, as always, I love watching him. Like I said, that he's like a new age Booker T. That doesn't get pushed. Like I think his last
doesn't win ever.
His last big push was Capital Punishment 2011, which was awful.
He was a good R-Truth.
Yeah, then little Jimmy showed up and brought him down. But then
honestly, I thought that gimmick was gold. That gimmick was gold.
I loved it, but I was like, they're actually trying to make him seem like he's crazy. But little Jimmy over here. No, but then you got to the end of the fight, and it was Sheamus and Ryback, and I was like, okay, we know Sheamus is going to win. Then I think we were just talking like, oh yeah, give it to Sheamus, even though he put Daniel Bryan out. We're like, Ryback kind of hasn't ever done anything. Like he gets all
he's
these.
Never won anything.
Yeah, he always gets these opportunities, and he's like this beast of a man, and then they never give him anything. We were like, maybe he should be Intercontinental Champion, and he won, and I was like,
that was awesome.
And we were just like, that's just fine.
Right.
That's great.
Well,
Ryback.
Dues were paid.
Yeah, I mean, he's been like, being this beast, and then they, just make him lose, like, randomly to, like, people that he shouldn't lose to. He's Ryback. He's this, feed me more.
Big necks, big checks.
Yeah, he's got the second biggest chant besides Daniel Bryan. Even though if you hate Ryback, you're still going to chant it. Like, New Day sucks.
Right, because it's great. It's great.
But no, seeing Ryback as champ, I think that's great. I mean, I'm excited to see what he's actually going to do as the Intercontinental Champion. Like I think we agreed he's not the greatest person on the mic, but he's also not the worst.
He's gotten better.
He could use some work, like that 10-minute promo he had on Raw. I think was it after WrestleMania?
Yeah,
right
so.
after.
Yeah, right after Wrestle. Yeah,
he gave like his life story. It was like, that's cool. Okay, what's next? Like, it wasn't anything that was like memorable, but that's like the longest he's actually had on the mic in a long time. Like that I can ever remember. That's like 10 or 11 minutes that he just talked and nobody interrupted him like you'd think they were going to do halfway through. But
yeah, it's like, oh, he's still talking. Okay,
yeah. And I mean,
I guess we'll run with this. Cool.
And then of course,
give him some mic time. Why
Daniel
not?
Bryan handed the title off to him, which was great. Just seeing Daniel Bryan there. I would prefer to see him wrestling, but stuff happens. But that's all right.
Tear. Single tear.
But yes, then that led us to the last fight of the night, and oh my God, was this was such an amazing
You want to
fight.
talk about a schoolgirl.
Oh man, I was
schoolgirl screaming. Jesus.
Dean Ambrose versus Seth Rollins. We already knew this was going to be a great fight. Like, before we even went into it, this was going to be like, this was like the fight I was waiting for. Like, the Fatal 4-Way was great, and just seeing Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins fighting, and that was amazing. And then, of course, like, the Shield movement where they, triple power bombed Randy Orton through the table was great.
That was great.
Yeah, that was, and then that look on Seth Rollins, he has his fist in the middle, and they're just all laughing. And then he's like, "Nope, serious FaceTime, it's not gonna happen." But yeah, then like the ending of it was kind of weird. Like, what was it? He went to do something off the top rope, Dean Ambrose, and then Rollins threw the ref in front, and Ambrose knocked out the ref. But then Dirty Deeds Rollins and then pinned him for like 10 seconds, and I thought he won the title. I was excited. I was pretty excited.
And I quote, "Oh my god, oh my god, wait, oh my god."
That just happened. No, then of course like the controversial decision, but like we were talking today about this, Tom, on the phone, like this kind of stuff has happened before where a ref gets
super old school.
Yeah, a ref gets knocked out and then crawls back in the ring all groggy and's like 1, 2, and they kicked out or something like that. But
the slow count.
Yeah,
I was waiting for that too. I was honestly expecting Rollins to just kick out there.
I was too. That's why I was like so surprised whenever he didn't. Like, I freaked out a little bit. I'm not gonna lie, I freaked out just a little bit.
Fangirl.
But something happened after the fight, and Nate, I want you to explain this to everybody. What happened and how great it was.
Okay, so after I knew the whole time something was up because they weren't going to just push him, and it didn't make sense to have it be that way, especially at the Elimination Chamber instead of a SummerSlam, a Survivor Series, one of the big four, if you're going to give somebody like that a royal push. So at the end of the match, you have the Dirty Deeds, the 1, 2, 3 by the ref coming in, and then you have the other ref come back in and say that he was pulled, and I do believe he was pulled out by J&J Security is what happened. And they gave the victory to Dean Ambrose via disqualification. So obviously the title does not change hands if the champion is disqualified, which
unless
is their way.
Of course.
Unless there's a stipulation. This is their way, I believe. Now, this was an excellent match. You could easily get 2 or 3, maybe even 4 more matches out of this. This match is to set up for another main event at Money in the Bank.
Definitely.
And I'm pretty sure during this one, it'll probably be Seth Rollins gets disqualified, or if anybody gets disqualified, the title goes to the person who wins. So it's going to be one of those scenarios where you're going to have to tune into Money in the Bank because the backs both of their backs are going to be backs against the wall. It's just setting up something really nice for these two to really sink their teeth into, and I'm thoroughly enjoying it.
Yep, I would completely agree. What about you, Tom?
Yeah, these two have some of the best chemistry out of any of the wrestlers together on the roster. So pretty much any time these two get together, it's something special, something fun to watch. So I'm definitely looking forward to whatever they have to announce here in the next 10 minutes or so once Raw starts, because I'm sure that'll be the first 20 minutes we'll be talking about what's going to go on at Money in the Bank.
Yeah. So Dean Ambrose won but did not win the title. But guess what he walked out with last night? He walked out with the title, and it was pretty great. Just like he's like I won, and I'm taking this with me, and I'm buying the beers. It was great.
Yep.
It was perfect because like that whole the whole like Roman Reigns versus Dean Ambrose, Fatal 4-Way, like, hey buddy, let's go fight. We got to put on a show or whatever was fantastic. Even though that fight was like 45 seconds before Seth Rollins got back up or whatever. But it was just because Roman Reigns was banned from ringside, and then Ambrose had the title, his music was playing. I was on cloud 9, and then I got brought back down immediately, which is kind of depressing. Right. But it was okay. It was great. But he walked out with the title, with Roman Reigns in tow. Like, it was great. And my thinking what's going to happen is it's either going to lead to another match, like Nate said, at Money in the Bank and possibly SummerSlam, or it's going to be one of those, like, if you give me a spot in the Money in the Bank ladder match, I'll give you back your title and get him into the Money in the Bank. Because right now there's only 6 people. Right. I can't think of who they are off the top of my head. I know Neville's in it, and I think Randy Orton and Roman Reigns. That's the 3 I can remember. And maybe like
Ziggler's in it.
Yeah, Ziggler. I was about to say Ziggler, and then there's like
Sheamus is in it.
Sheamus is in it. Yep.
Oh God, again.
Oh, don't have Sheamus win it.
Please,
oh God. Oh God.
Honestly, do you want to know what I think's going to happen?
Go ahead.
I think Ambrose will win the title at Money in the Bank. However, previously in the night, Roman Reigns will have won the Money in the Bank briefcase. Roman Reigns turns heel at the end of the night, cashes in on Ambrose, walks out champion as a heel Roman Reigns.
Pulls a Kane.
That would be pretty sweet.
Yes, sir.
Like Kane did. What was that on? He was on SmackDown.
The Demon Kane.
He won, and then he cashed it in the same night, which is like the first time
on Rey Mysterio.
Yeah. But
That'd be
yes,
pretty sweet.
I am excited for the future right now, like with all these new superstars finally getting into their roles of where they need to be instead of like, building up to where they're at. Dean Ambrose versus Seth Rollins is it's going to be great for the coming months, like Nate said. It's going to be possibly the best couple matches we're going to have going forward. Roman Reigns and Randy Orton are kind of like on the back burner right now, kind of like they're in the main event picture, but they're not in the main event because of Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose. But I would love to see Roman Reigns turn heel. And then have Brock Lesnar come back, and let's have that rematch from WrestleMania, because that was actually I think that was a damn good fight.
Yes, it was.
Yep.
Yes, it was.
Before Rollins came out, but no. So, final thoughts. What was your guys' favorite match, favorite moment of the night from Elimination Chamber, Tom?
The Kevin Owens John Cena fight and Kevin Owens winning.
Of course,
Woo!
With your Kevin Owens sweatshirt, Nate.
All right, since you took mine, obviously you know how I feel about Kev. Kevin Owens, you can't touch that. That was the highlight of my evening, probably going to be the highlight of my year as far as WWE pay-per-views go.
Yep.
However, if it's not that, it's got to be the fact that after years and years and years of coming up short and paying his dues, having people badmouth him, trash talk him, and, true or not, I don't care, but the man has paid his dues. Ryback walks out with gold. I loved it. I loved it.
Because it's a new day. That's what it is.
Oh, God. You're going to play that song, you asshole.
No, I agree with both you guys, and my favorite moment besides Nikki Bella retaining her championship
Come on, Nikki.
was definitely just like the ending and the build-up that's going to be going forward with Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins, 2 of my favorite wrestlers right now on the main roster. But, Nate, you got something coming up yourself, don't you?
Yes, let's see. On June 14th, CCW Circle City Wrestling comes back to town. We're going to re-debut in German Park. Now, Mr. Indy is not going to be wrestling at this show. Unfortunately, right now I'm out with an injury. I have a pretty severe concussion going on right now. However, on this night, you're going to see such stars as Rob Conway, 2015 Hall of Famer. Mr. Rikishi is going to be in the house. And all of the CCW superstars are going to be there to thoroughly entertain you. Now, this show is free to the public. 7 p.m., June 14th, German Park. Be there. You're not going to want to miss this show. This is an affiliation with the NWA. You are going to love the product that we're going to put on for you. So make sure that you're there. CCW German Park, June 14th at 7 p.m.
June 14th at 7 p.m. Is that the same night that Money in the Bank's on?
Hey, watch our show and then go home and watch their show and see who's better. We're gonna blow you out of the water.
Yeah, so German Park, that's one in Greenwood, Indiana, correct? Or right outside of Greenwood?
Indianapolis, Greenwood, yeah.
Yeah, so if you have the time, probably hour, 2 hours, you get to meet Rikishi, one of the greatest big guys, the big guy from the Attitude Era. But,
the big guy.
Yeah, so once again,
hey,
you
and
guys,
I'm not saying I'm not, but I'm just saying I ain't gonna take a stink face.
I would just so I could say I did. I'm not gonna lie, I would do it. I would do it. Just say I did it. Who many people can say they took a stink face for Rikishi? This guy.
I'm not saying I'm
this
not.
Guy.
I'm just saying I'm not.
All right, you guys. But once again, thank you very, very much. Elimination Chamber was amazing. Tom, as always, it's a pleasure. Nate, it was great having you on. I look forward to seeing you again.
Hey, thanks for having me on.
It's okay. You can't see me. Obviously, but I can see you. Can't we, Tom?
That's all right.
No.
All right, you guys. But
nobody can see me. I'm Mr. Indy.
Make sure to come back this weekend. We'll be talking about Batman Arkham Asylum and Batman Arkham Origins on Saturday night. So once again, you guys, thanks for tuning in and stay tuned.